Hey guys, what is up? Friend Samba here with episode 1 review of Danganronpa, the Dispair arc. Okay, so as I found out on Tuesday when I did up the video, someone put it in the comments, so thank you out there, you know who you are. That told me that the actual series is going to have the Dispair on Thursdays and then the future arc on Tuesdays, which is really cool because, like, you know, double the Danganronpa, why not? So right away we start this episode with the teacher, which is Chisa Yukizome. I don't know. I forgot all the names already because that's the one thing about like shows like this with a big cast that like it just shows you the names like that and you can't really remember. And I barely remember the names from the second game. Okay. Speaking of, there are going to be full spoilers in this, so if you haven't beaten the second game, go play it. Go play, have fun. It's a really good game. And then come back here so I don't spoil things for you because I don't want to be that guy. But, so, as we know, this class is all the kids from the second game where we find out that they are Ultimate Despair. But they weren't always like that. They started off as normal students from Hope High School. And so they assigned the teacher, Chisa, or whatever her name is, to go be their new homeroom teacher because I think the teacher was their real teacher or whatever was like hungover or something like that. And actually, I think that guy is one of the guys from the future arc. One of the what are they called? Like the secret agent guys or whatever. I don't know. And this teacher too is also there in the future. She's the one that was Arima's best friend or whatever. So now we know that, and I'll give you guys my little hypothesis at the end of this, but yeah. So we start off, and something very apparent about this arc, the Despair arc, is that it's a lot more comedy driven, which is cool. You know, I like a lot of comedy, whereas the future arc is like kind of serious because like you walk in and then Nagi says like or what he's already being like trialed and whatever, and it's kind of serious because like, you know, he could go to jail. He's accused of being a traitor, so it's kind of high stakes at this point. This one started off like as just kind of comedy and just trying to meet everybody. Funny stuff happens along the way and just stuff like that, which is kind of cool, you know, because if you're gonna do two shows of the same, you know, series, you know, why do the same in both? Just go for the comedy in one of them and then go for like the serious part in the other. So that was really cool. I like that. So yeah, it's basically just a big giant quest to collect all the characters, and so they go out, look for them, they find them, and yes, they are the same characters from the Danganronpa 2 game. So that's something that was also, again, like I said, kind of interesting because, you know, you assume they were bad people the whole time because they are Ultimate Despair. But turns out they actually started off in Hopes of Peak Academy. So we go through them, we find them. What was apparent to me in the towards the end already is where we find I forgot her name, the video game girl. Like I think it was like Chisaka or something like that. But yeah, the video game girl. In the second game, it said that she is the like an extra person in the group. At the very end of the game, you find out that someone has sneaked in the class, and you're like, who is it? Like, who could that be? And we find out that it was her at the very end, which is weird because now she's in this series. It was an original like classmate, so that's interesting. And then whereas on the other side, the main character that you play as in the second game, he's not part of the classroom. He's a, what are they called? Like, I forgot what they call them. But basically, they're like not the smart kids or not the super talented kids that go to Hope's Peak. They're more of the, I guess, normal students. You just have to pay, like, say you have to be really rich to go to the other, like the subs Hope's Peak Academy school. And you see him in the beginning. He's kind of like, how do you say, like disappointed or like mad or like whatever, because in his mind, when he was sent to that school, people were like, oh, must be nice to be really rich to have your parents pay for your school and everything. And So he's kind of like he has that mentality going into school, and he's actually a really nice guy. Like he seems like a nice guy. Best girl, video game girl, bumps into him, and like he's normal about it. He's chill. It's funny too because he has his hair after he shaves, and then you got to remember that guy is Ultimate Despair. Like from what we remember in the second game, he is Ultimate Despair. He is one of the ultimates. So I'm kind of interested to see how he goes from being like a normal guy to Ultimate Despair. So we'll see what happens there. So yeah, so those two guys, we didn't think they were part, and then now they are part. And that's pretty much it, actually. Nothing really like substantial happened. Monokuma didn't pop or anything, obviously, because this is like, say, normal times. This is before the biggest, what do they call it? The biggest, most tragic, most awful event in history happened, which was caused by these students, this students. And then, like I said, that the girl, the Chisaka, the little teacher girl, she is the teacher of the students. So I'm interested to see like how this would affect her. So we're gonna have to look into that. I think it's gonna be cool. Chiaka, that's her name, Chiaka, the game girl. So what do I go with now? I think I'm gonna go throw ahead my my hypothesis thingy, my jiggy. So in the first video that I did for the future arc, I said that I thought that the one who died, because spoilers again, she died. She got hanged on a chandelier and she fell and she died. I said that she was my first my first suspect, and this only supports it, like, honestly, because I feel like she's the teacher of these kids. She's trying her best to make them be happy and like be like students, and then they end up becoming Ultimate Despair underneath her watch. Whereas I think that it will have affected her mentally, whereas she'll act like everything is okay, but in reality she's not okay. So what I feel like she's gonna do is that she's is a traitor, and she's gonna, at the end of the show, she's gonna pop up because she's not dead, apparently. And she's gonna be like, oh, well, we tried that with these students and look how they turned out. That's not what they need, and blah 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 and blah blah blah. And then she's gonna try to find her new way of making the world a better place. So that's what I think is gonna happen. I have no idea. I'm just purely speculation. So that's that, you know. Again, like I said, I'm really hyped for this show. I really like the Danganronpa series a lot. I just can't remember anybody's names because it's too many names. I can't even remember like people's names when I meet them in person. So don't expect me to remember virtual characters. So yeah, I'm very excited for this. I'm glad that they're doing like the future arc is kind of like more serious, something like it is the Monokuma thing, where like it's a survival game. And then for now, I don't know if it's gonna change or not. For now, the Dispair arc is more of a comedy, kind of like maybe a slice of life thing, and we'll see how far that goes. Because eventually, we know, that's the thing, we know shit's gonna go bad at the end of this series. But we'll just have to see how we get there. So yeah, that has been my review on episode 1, Dispair arc. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and ja matane.